Good. Thanks for waiting. I think we should get started now. So let me see if everything is correct here. Okay, that all looks good. Perfect. Thank you again for joining and taking the time to listen to us. What we are going to show you today is the new tool we have, the WebWizard. So my name is Mark Eberhard. I'm the Voice over IP product line manager at Patton. With me today, I have Brett Patton, who is the product marketing manager. So he will be assisting me during today's webinar. He will go through some questions that may come up during the presentation. So welcome, Brett, as well. Hello. We can't hear you, Brett. Do you want to say hello to the audience?
Yeah, hey, sorry, I was having trouble unmuting myself. Anyways, yeah, thanks everyone for being here today. This is a pretty exciting new tool we have, and hopefully after today you guys will feel more comfortable using the tool and we can start getting some of these wizards together for our customers, and it should be great.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, Brett. Finally, it worked with the unmute button. Good. I'll just get started. So with a quick overview about what we are going to talk today. Just as a remark here, so feel free to post any questions in the indicated field on your panel you have on your screen. Good. Then starting from item number 1, so I want to run through quickly about Patton product deployment. So just to give you a quick refresher, a quick update, showing you the methods you have in deploying Patton products. But then I want to start directly into the main topic of today, the WebWizard, what it is doing, how WebWizards can be created. Then, of course, we'll be talking about the Patton community platform we set up to share those wizards among all the Patton community members. And then, of course, the advantages of the Patton community. Then Q&A at the end. So if there still should be some questions being unanswered, so Brett and I will be glad to answer you those questions. Good. So getting started with the Patton product deployment options. So there are different sections here I want to talk about quickly. So what's the provisioning, the automated provisioning is concerned. So zero-touch provisioning, you hear a lot. This is something we do support with our products by utilizing the redirect server, which is a tool also free to be used. This one works with protocols we have available on our products, HTTP or TFTP, and even the secure HTTP, which is indicated here. Of course, there is another way in configuring, deploying units, the manual standard way, let's say. So either you want to configure or your customers want to configure a device by using the CLI, the command line interface, or the web interface, which is something we are, by the way, improving and upgrading on all the Trinity products. And then, of course, the WebWizard, which is kind of a new tool which we are going to talk about today. Then once a unit or units have been deployed out in the field at the customer sites, so there you might want to know what's happening to those devices, how they behave, or you want to monitor them in order to be alerted if any problem occurs with the service or with the unit itself. So that can be done by a manual intervention using the CLI or the web interface, but it can be done in a more automated way by using standard protocols we support on our devices, or there's another option by using the Patton element management system, which is a full-featured monitoring and management system which can manage up to 100,000 devices. And the good thing about this tool or this product is it can be used as well for third-party devices, not just for Patton products. But now let's switch back to the WebWizard, which is something we are going to talk about today. Now, why a WebWizard? So there are basically three main things why we said, well, we should do something here in order to help our partners, such as you, our customers, and the customers of our partners. So as you know, our products, they are quite feature rich, which doesn't really help what the configuration or the setup is concerned. So there we said, well, we should really simplify that. And we figured out that with Trinity, our new operating system, there we have new ways in order to do so. So also we said, well, it would be good to have one centralized platform where we can share web wizards. So where really all the patent community members, all the users and potential creators can share their wizards on a centralized platform. So everyone can benefit from contributions being done by just one person. So really the multiply effect. Then what are the functions of a web wizard? So the web wizard is really a stripped down web GUI, which is only exposing fields to be completed with a value to the end user so that the end user doesn't have to run through the entire configuration. So it's application specific web interface, which makes an install or an initial setup of a patent device really easy. Then another function, of course, is the Web Wizard is generating a configuration file for either a Trinity or a smartware device. Now the question is, who creates those wizards? So besides the patent staff creating such wizards, because as you know, they know the products in that regard, so they know how to do it. We also see you as network technicians, smart node or smartware engineered peoples having visited a training class, for instance, or really anyone having CLI skills on that end, which helps or which makes it easy to create a web wizard. Now, how such a web wizard is being created and how that works. So actually, right now, how a configuration template for a patent device is done, it's a simple text-based file, which has some comments, some variables in it, where the end user or the customer will have to enter IP addresses in a text file or username or password and so on. So as you see it here, it's not really intuitive. It brings a high potential of errors being done by entering values or information into that config text file, and it can be quite complicated. So there we said, how can we make it easier to the end users, to the small system integrators installing patent devices? And there we came up with saying, well, what happens if we just add a web interface on top of that config template file? So that's what we call our web wizard. So what it is doing, it's really providing a view for the end user where the end user only has to put in a certain values, number range, for instance, trunk number, authentication information, and all the rest happens in the background by using this predefined config template as you saw it before. So another advantage here is that the web wizard can also display help text, so tip information there, as you can see when doing a mouse over on the information bullet there. You can put in default values such as an IP address as indicated here, or it's also providing a walkthrough config approach by clicking on the next button, which will switch to the next page in order for the config to be completed, to be generated.
So Mark, can you explain the difference between a web wizard and the web GUI? And does the web wizard make the web GUI obsolete?
Well, that's a good question. So first of all, it doesn't make it obsolete. So the web wizard is really meant for an easy initial setup of the device. So once the device is set up and maybe some kind of values are required to be changed. So for instance, if there a new telephone number has to be added to the smart node, then the web interface still has to be used. So the web wizard really is for an easy, fast, and simple initial setup of a patent device. Good. So let's dig into that wizard a little bit more in detail. So what the wizard is, in fact, it's a XML-based file, which consists of two sections. So starting at the bottom, there is the config template section, so the one you probably know pretty well, which contains variables which are completed from the upper part, from the GUI part. So the GUI part itself is a XML-based script, let's say. So it's for anyone knowing a bit XML language, it's pretty easy for such a person to put up the graphical user interface. And really, as said before, it's something you can define by your own. So it's up to the creator if on the GUI 10 fields or just one input field should be displayed, and then the value the end user is entering into that field, that value will be placed in the corresponding placeholder at the bottom of that wizard inside the config template part. Now, how such a wizard can be created. So there are different ways to do so. So one possibility would be you take an existing wizard as a reference, you start to modify it, you start to enhance it. So that would be one potential way. Or you can start from scratch in a way that you will take the Wizard Programmer's Guide we put together as a help. So in there, you really find all the details about the options you have creating a web wizard. One important remark here is that for the product ID, which is part of the wizard XML part, the product ID should be set in a proper way so that it matches the category of the device you want to create the wizard for. So for instance, the SmartNode 4170, which is a PRI gateway device. So you will see later on why this part is that important. Now, as a next thing, what to do with that wizard XML file. Good. So the XML file, as I said before, can be created by either a patent staff or by a wizard creator, such as you. So listening to us right now, then that web wizard file can be uploaded to a patent Trinity device. And from there, that wizard can be executed on the device itself. So that, for instance, happens for distributors doing some pre-provisioning of the devices before the device goes to the customer site. So the distributor will load the right wizard onto the device. The device will be shipped to the customer, and when there, the customer will be doing the installation. He can just click on that wizard, fill in the information required, hit save and reload, and the unit will be configured. So that's one possibility. The other possibility is that that wizard file can be uploaded to our so-called WebWizard community platform. And I will show you there what options you have on that platform. So again, here on that online community platform, you can run a wizard online, which will generate you a config file. So depending on how the wizard was created, it will generate a config file for a smartware device, or it can generate a config file for a Trinity device. So that's one option on the online platform. Another option is to download the entire wizard, which is XML based, as I explained to you before, download it onto your computer, upload it to the Trinity device, and then from there on the Trinity device, that wizard can be executed, which will again generate a config file on the unit itself in order to complete the initial setup of the device. Now let's be a little bit more specific on the online community platform. Once you visit the URL indicated here, patent.com/wizard, you will get to that landing page here. So actually the online platform is something we divided in two memberships. So there's the user membership, which is really available to everyone. So once registered on patent.com, so everyone will get access to that platform. And then we have the creators, which we are targeting today. So the creators, they will be responsible for, as the name says, creating WebWizards, but also they will be responsible to receive any kind of feedback from the user community and reply to them to whatever questions they might have. Now, going from there, once you enter the platform, it will look like this. So on the top side, you can see when you're logged in. So actually, I'm logged in actively here, and you can also see the wizard status. So I'm already a creator here. For the users, it will indicate user, of course, and there will be a button to you can hit in order to request to become a creator too. So that will generate an email on our end, and we will approve and give access to anyone who wants to be a creator. Now, what's next? Those blue bars, they indicate product categories. And maybe you remember what I told you before, that inside the wizard, there's a product ID. And that ID you use there is the one which will match to the categories here. So if you'll be creating a wizard for a category or for a product which doesn't exist here, so it will be just automatically created. But in order to have this list clean, so therefore it's important to have a proper product ID matching to whatever units you created the wizard for. Now, once you click on such a blue bar there, it will open up the wizards belonging to that product categories. So that's one wizard I created as an example here. You can see the title of the wizard for SmartNotes 5530 and 4130, a Trinity ISDN BRI device. Then you see the description of that wizard, so what it is doing, for which application it is for. You see the author and also the company the author is working for. And then at the bottom, you see the keywords, which allows an easier search for the wizard. Then on the right-hand side, you can see those three buttons. The Run Wizard button is opening up a pop-up window, and it allows you or the customer to run executing the WebWizard, which will at the end generate a config file, which can be imported to the patent device. The other option, as I showed you before already, is the download function. So there it will download the entire wizard XML file, which can be uploaded to a Trinity device in order to execute it on the device itself to generate a new startup config. And for that part, I'll quickly show you how that works. So once you connect to a Trinity device, if you go to the system and wizard config, there a new window will open where you can browse the XML wizard file, import it from there. Once you did that, or then if this unit will be sent to the customer, they can click on the magic one on the top right-hand side. And from there, it will give you the list of all the wizards which have been preloaded on that unit. And from there, you can choose, of course, the one we just uploaded before, and it will again open up that specific wizard in order to create the config. So much about that. Then some more words about the online platform here. So you see in that gray area, this is the search functionality. So you can either search by rating, star rating. So the more downloads a wizard has, the rating will go up, of course, that makes sense. Then you can search by product, you can search by keyword. So then correspondingly, the wizards will be displayed. Now, the next thing I want to explain to you is how to upload a new wizard. So once you created a new wizard file, so you can click on upload a wizard, then you will get on a screen where you can browse the file, can upload it there, where you can enter the keywords, and then that wizard will be available. So another item here is the user profile. So once you click on that, you'll get a view which is similar to this one, where on the middle part, you can see all the wizards you've uploaded so far. So the title of the wizard gives you the possibility to run and test that wizard online. So that means once you uploaded the wizard, it will not be published or online yet, but you will have the possibility to have a look at it to see if everything is fine and go from there. Then you still have the possibility to change or edit the keywords you've entered for that wizard. And then once you think, well, everything is fine, you can click on the publish button and the wizard will be published and available to all the Pattern community users. Of course, you can revert that clicking on offline, then that wizard will not be visible anymore to anyone else other than you. So, and of course, you can also delete it. Good. Then the third button you see here is for comments. So once you click that, it opens up a field where anyone can leave comments. So that's not just for the creators. It's also for the users, of course. So they can leave comments to the creator of that wizard. So they can whatever provide suggestions, or if there's something not working properly, they can provide some inputs. So that's then generating an email to the creator of the wizard where it says, well, there was someone leaving a comment for the wizard. You posted online on the Pattern community platform, and then it will be up to the creator to get back to that user. Good. So getting to the end of this presentation, I just want to outline again the advantages of the WebWizard community, of this community platform. So really for you as creators or potential creators, so there the approach is, and the advantage is that this is one platform where configuration templates can be shared, so that can help either you or again your customers in reducing installation times. Then it's also in terms of brand awareness of your company. So the more wizards you create, the more downloads you get, the higher the awareness of your company, because that's also being indicated on the wizard itself. And then you have some direct interaction with other market players. You can exchange some knowledge and experience in that regard with others. And it's really, as I said, you can profit from a configuration library, which is at zero cost. Now, in order to set a little incentive here, so we said for all the new creators registering on that platform, we put together a small contest. So for the first 3 new creators posting a wizard online, which is of course working, so we'll prove that, they will get a gift from Pattern. So we will do the so we will go through by beginning of November this year and see and select the first 3 creators which will get a present from Pattern. Very good. So with having that said, we're almost done with the presentation, the webinar, and I think it's at the time to run a quick poll at that stage. Brett, would you do that for me, please?
Yeah, sure. All right, the first poll, what is your first impression of the WebWizard and the platform?
So we see their answers coming in. 77% voted, 80%. We're getting more and more replies. And I think Is it right? There are no more replies for that? Okay.
Okay, I think we have another question or polling question. Launch this real quick. How likely are you to create a WebWizard and share it in the community?
Very good. So more and more votes coming in. So almost 80% answer to this.
All right, 5 more seconds. We'll close it and do the final poll, and then it'll be open for anyone who has any questions to ask us. All right, final poll. Did you like the webinar? All right, so if you guys have any questions, you can start typing them in the question section. If not, then I think we'll wrap it up.
So there were no questions so far.
So far, no questions.
Good. It seems that it was so far understood, but of course we'll be glad to answer you any questions that might come up at a later stage. So it's not a problem. So you know how to reach us. So you can find our contact details on our website if you don't have them already. So let's check again if there are any questions. And if not, I think we are good to close the webinar for today. So more or less in time, almost 30 minutes. Good, then thank you very much from my side for your attention. Thanks for listening to us, and stay tuned for any upcoming online events we'll be doing. So I'll be glad to welcome you again for any other webinar we're doing. So from my side, thanks again. Brett, any final comments, words from your side?
No, that's it. Thanks everyone for showing up today, and see you again in another webinar.
Perfect. Thanks everyone, and goodbye. Bye-bye.